Oh no, you're not going to start singing.
Well, we're not. Hang on. Well.
Have we got the power
I was
to
going to
mute him?
wait. I was going to wait. Andy had some choice opinions on your mates, that band.
Yeah, I've told him. He went straight to the dentist, Andy.
I think it's like can they do a swap of his vocal cords?
Oh. You know, the week before I was trying to warn you in a subtle way, really.
It was funny. It was
Under
funny.
the bus.
It brought the punters in.
And out.
I think the funniest thing, John, was that so many of the tunes were from my sort of era.
I know, mate.
And it was like having your favourite pet dismembered in front of your eyes.
I've actually stopped going to see them because it's a bit too cringy.
Hang on. Wait, who's the so-called mate here?
Yeah,
you just throw your mates under the bus.
Well, afterwards, not before.
Right. Enough of that. Hang on. Champions edition. Champions edition, mate. Come on. Yeah, we love this.
I just see Kevin Keegan
Yeah, falling off the bicycle.
raising his shoulder.
For everyone there, glad to know this is great superstars music. We've got all the stats here now, and I do believe a certain Gary Elphick's going to walk in this room in a minute. So that can bugger off. Hello, Leon, Malcolm, Linda, Stroke Matt, Windy Gale, Robbie, John, George with a half decent screen, and Mr. Andy. Right, and now we are welcoming a certain Gary Elphick, although we might have something for him. Here we go, here he is. Hello, Gary.
Chris, how are you, mate?
Wow.
I feel like it's Saturday night all over again.
I reckon Ben had a few beers. That does go on. That does go on, Gary.
Yeah, I know it does.
Well, Gary, absolute pleasure you're on. Obviously, got a lot of us here. I don't know where to start. How are you feeling?
It's a funny one, actually. It's more relief, to be honest with you, Chris. It has been 3 years coming, and actually, even though we were really miles clear, you just want to get over the line, and to eventually get it done is great. And I was quite emotional, really. I had a little tear to the eye, but I'm just really happy for the group. I'm just all about protecting the group of players, and to help them fulfill what they truly deserve is something that's very close to me. So very relieved, man, and I am slightly proud of what the team and the team behind the team has achieved within the management staff as well. So it's great. It's great to finally go over the line.
Beautiful words there. You just come off the non-league show, haven't you?
Well, yeah, it's a White Hawk supporter that does it. I think his name's Odds. They call him Odds, or say Odds Podcast. So I've just come off that, and he to be honest with you, it was good to get a little bit of their side of things and how they look upon us as well. And
sorry,
Gary,
go on,
Gary, what was it like speaking to a real proper podcaster?
Oh, fuck
off. No comment. No, Chris is unbelievable, isn't he? He's the best at the job. He's a natural. Don't worry, Chris.
He's okay.
A natural something. I know that.
Chris, I just got to say, I've got a special guest coming on just for Gaz.
Oh, nice one.
Let's see with Gary Elphick.
Oh, Stoney.
Oh, he's a good-looking lad, this fella.
How are you?
Last time I saw this guy was in a kebab shop at 4 in the morning.
I still had a beer though, didn't I?
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Oh, top
What a
stuff.
man.
I don't think I've stopped
What a man.
since then either. How are you?
You all good, Craig? You all right?
All right, mate. Yeah, all right. Yeah, just brought Josh along and popped on to see the old man. Noticed obviously Monday night, so special night, isn't it? Monday night.
Yeah, it is, mate. It is. So, yeah, no, I've just been drinking water and eating healthy salads now. So,
yeah, no, same. Yeah, same.
I'm on the rehab route.
Obviously, game Saturday, so yeah,
Stoney.
that's what I'll be doing. Yeah,
Stoney, you put that mannequin arms down now?
well, I have
Mate,
no
how many
idea
nut
what you're
shots
on
did you do?
about. I'm not taking any of that blame for the mannequins.
You just walked up to me and nut shotted me with that mannequin arm.
Did I?
Yeah.
I'll be honest,
Did someone else? It's funny.
I'll be honest, I had absolutely no idea and no recollection of that. So,
oh, fair enough. It never happened then.
so it definitely wasn't personal. I don't remember it. There weren't a lot that I did, to be honest with you.
That was great celebrations.
Good fun. I'll leave you to it anyway. Great to see you all.
Yeah, and you.
Hello, mate.
Enjoy. Enjoy.
Again,
See you later,
Sam.
Stoney.
Yeah, take care, Stoney.
Yeah, mate.
Oh,
He
top
ain't
stuff,
gone
Malcolm.
far. He's only gone over there.
He did the fantastic job behind the bar, though.
Oh, wasn't it?
Clubhouse.
Unbelievable.
It's been is that fantastic nine game run of victories, and then the kind of it was because it was so done and dusted almost, wasn't it? It's been a funny these last couple of games. It must be difficult getting the psychology right in the team. Would you say? Has that been a bit of a battle? You know, when we're more or less over the line, and yet there's the excitement there, which brings on a bit of nerves. Then you've got a whopping crowd, haven't you? Last week, but still got to do the final business.
Yeah, I almost actually felt sorry for the guys last week. Actually, I thought we was almost like a victim of our own success in regards of the pressure that was on our shoulders. But I said actually after the game, I actually felt it was a vital point to achieving our objective. I think I really do think Hayward C for no mugs. I think they're physically pretty imposing. I think they're well drilled. Could be slightly defensive on the day, but I think any time in the season we would have got that result and been on the run we had been on, people would have taken their hats off and said it's a fair point. We move on. Obviously, I wanted it. You know, I had to collect my thoughts. I sat in the office for half hour on my own and just had to calm myself down because the players had been fantastic, and they all they deserve is a pat on the back and a round of applause every time at the moment. And it would have been a fairy tale and all that, but do you know what? It's actually more my style to win at Faversham. You know, that's what we're about as a club. We can graft. Commitment, as I said to the lads on Saturday, commitment will give you a start, but consistency finishes it. And to go to somewhere like Faversham, bobbly pitch, is terrible, but still grafted, and we still got the point we needed. And I don't know, that sums me up as a human being a little bit. When it gets a bit mucky and that, I'd rather pull my sleeves up and get going. And it would have been lovely with the band and everything, the 3,000 and all that. But in a weird way, we've done it with real people that are close to the club, with a private 300 or 400, if you like. As I say, it's just fantastic to get over the line. And once again, credit. It's all about the group, the backroom staff and the team, and also a massive part is the fans, because I can G the players up in the dressing rooms, but when you go into the Cray Valleys away and that, and you see 200 or 300 of your own fans there, it definitely helps as well. So all in all, the package, when a club's going well, everything works in harmony from off the pitch and on the pitch. Billy Wood in the background, Darren Burney, Peter Sherlock doing what they do off it. It's a very well-oiled machine at the moment, and one that I hope that can keep going for next season.
Gary, who do you reckon to win the playoffs?
Do you know what? It's a real tight one to call. It really is. It's like, I really thought, you would have asked me this question last week, I thought Cray Valley looked back to their best, especially attacking. And I still think attacking-wise, they're probably the strongest force out of them all. But as we all know, sometimes with Cray Valley, if you bring them on here, it takes you to their weakness, and that's their defence probably. And I do worry about Cray Valley when they do get on, like someone like Haywards Heath could be Cray Valley's Achilles heel. That'll bring them on, but they got athletes going forward for quick attack. So it's a real, do you know what? And then you look at Ashford, you know, especially if they get the home tie, because it's a game changer playing there. You know, when we played there, we worked all week on how to go about it, and you've got to be right on your game to get any kind of result at Ashford. So, do you know what? In a weird way, Malc, it wouldn't surprise me to see Ashford get promoted in a weird way.
Yeah.
I think Haywards Heath going to be hard to break down.
Yeah, 100%.
You found that yourself, you know, a couple of weeks ago. And,
yeah.
You know, they only need to get a bit shot up front, and then a couple of 1-0s. That's all it needs, isn't it? Yeah. I think Ashford. I think they're definitely the dark horses. Is Haywards Heath definitely? Definitely.
Rather than asking the question, I'd just like to say thank you actually to Gary, because for us we're pretty new. We started coming to Hastings in October, but being there on Saturday, we saw the emotion in so many people who have been there a lot longer than we have, who it meant so much to. You know, people like Pat, people like Dean, who were, you know, we were talking to them afterwards, and they were almost welling up trying to explain their, you know, that sort of happiness and success that's brought to them. So thank you more than anything.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
it's just a pleasure to be part of it. You know, it is, and you know, it's gone great. And you're right what you say, like people like Pat McCrossan and all that. You know, it's non-league teams wouldn't exist without people like that. So you know, I am very thankful, and that's the way I like to stay as a human being as well. I want to be humble and remember the people along the way within that journey, and it's a special thing, that definitely.
Sorry, John. John, go.
I was just going to ask Gary. Did you get in touch with anybody from Worthing after their result?
Yeah, I spoke to the chairman there, George Dell, because to be honest with you, he was the first one who even started my journey as even thinking of being a manager. So I still have a lot for him to thank for. I learned a lot about the running of a football club within non-league, and also I look back on it now, but it was one of my biggest failures is when I left Worthing, because you know there is little voices in your mind saying you're not good enough, and it affects you. It affects your personal life and that. But I'll hang a picture up of the day I left Worthing, because I now look at it as one of the big successes, because I learned so much from that happening, that I like to think now that I've come on again as a manager, that you need to learn from them failures to make you a success. I call it you fall forwards. You're not falling backwards. You're falling forwards because you're taking on challenges, and I will never back off from a challenge. And when I look at how we've done it this year at Hastings, one thing I've learned from Worthing is how to use a squad, how to use substitutions more effectively. So all them things is probably become because of my experience at Worthing. And, you know, once again, next year, I've got to remain grounded. I haven't achieved nothing yet. And I could be, football's a fickle game. 1 minute you're a hero, the next you can be zero in football. So I've got to remain grounded and just keep looking for self-improvement, ask more of my staff and my players. And, you know, God loves a grafter. You've got to work hard at it.
Yeah. Not too grounded though, Gary. We won the league, mate. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Not too grounded. You can enjoy this.
Yeah, it is. You know, I did. I let my hair down Saturday night. Had a good sing-song, and obviously next couple of weeks I will. But I am always wary of it. I have always got that little bit of fear in my mind. And do you know what? It's probably a good thing, Chris, as well, to stay that way.
I just wanted to say thanks for hanging your boots up.
Yeah.
What I meant by that is that it's easy to get spread too thin, isn't it? And what immense pressure just managing a team like this is, really. Yeah. And but it must have been so tempting to think you just keep playing a bit did you go through that at all, or did? But what I.
To be honest, I've got a lot to thank for my dad for that, really, because he saw the Craig game where we got beat in the last seconds, and I could have got the linesman in a headlock. So I was getting too emotional. And once again, from my experiences at Worthing, you've got to have that line in the sand, and you can't do it anymore. I don't think personally you can be a player manager. I think you've got, especially with a club like Hastings, you've got to commit to one job. And I'm thankful for my dad to be that honest to me. It's actually my body was packing up. I was playing through injuries that I should never have been doing. I was very thankful that I had a centre half like Craig Stone next to me, doing all the silky stuff, because he could still do it, and he still is doing it. Which means I could just jump up for headers and I could go through the pain a little bit. But yeah, if I was a horse, they would have put me down, I think. So I'm glad that the boots are up, and I'm actually glad that now people look at me and say Gary ELPHICK, the manager, and not the player.
Yeah, fantastic. But you must have been itching on numerous occasions to be out there, sort of getting stuck in. But you still see a ball go up in the air, and there's part of me that wants to go Gary's and go and head it back. Yeah.
You might as well play yourself the last few games, didn't you? Won the league. You might as well have a kick about.
If you saw me in training the other week, I tell you, cool.
Probably still 10 times better than the rest of us. So.
Yeah. Why don't you play yourself and we get rid of that Fino Mara? Got to sell him to someone.
I'm going to send him back to Folkestone, I think. So don't worry about that. No, and that's, to be honest with you, he's been a huge part to me as well, because he's been a centre half that I've actually really enjoyed working with, trying to improve, and to see him doing what he's done has actually made my job a hell of a lot easier coming off the pitch and managing it, because my frustration levels are nowhere near what they were maybe at Worthing when I was watching some centre halves come in and not doing quite things right. But to watch Finn and Stone, he's for a defender, it's poetry in motion at times, and the clean sheets they've kept shows that. So that's another huge bit of joy that's been in my managerial career so far, to see them too. And Louis Rogers, who's made some fantastic saves, very underrated in my opinion. And every time we put a fullback on, TC was one of my earliest decisions to do, which is one I look back on with great, honour, and I'm proud of that decision I made. And Marcus and Obi, every time they play, they do us good as well. So it's been great. It really has.
Did you teach Finn how to do the overhead kick as well? Did you?
Yeah, we worked at that.
I thought so. Yeah,
numerous times, but I think I would have killed myself trying to do that. So it's an incredible goal, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure how far Finn can go actually in his career, and I mean that seriously, because I've only sort of started being with him and trying to coach him and Mino and the other coaching staff, and even playing with Stoney. So he's only going to get better. He's still only really young, and I look forward to seeing him, going up a level as well again.
Out of 4 months as a manager, and you've won the Manager of the Month 3 times, that must make that move from playing to managing so much easier. Like the vindication, where you must be like fucking right, sorted.
It's a little bit of recognition where you think you're going about your job right, but even like the Stoney and the players, every time I get the award, they're just they stay in a pack on my table. Because once again, I haven't got to display them to anyone. It's I don't want to get cocky, or just remain grounded and just keep doing what I'm doing. So it's a bit of recognition, but as I say, it's all about the group for me and my management staff, and trying to keep you fans happy.
Yeah, we've only touched on it a bit, Gary, but how good has Mino been with you?
He's great. I think in all walks of life, you need partnerships. It's horses for courses. I know my strengths, Mino knows his strengths, and we was joint managers at Worthing, and towards the end it didn't quite work because there wasn't a senior figure. The players didn't really know who to look to, but Mino knows now he's a coach. I know now that I couldn't deliver a session like Mino, but my strengths within the dressing room and overviewing the game and making subs. So together, we really do work well. And he's been key, Malk, because he gives so much energy on the training ground. And when Aggie left, I felt that was exactly what we needed. And I think it has been an inspired decision by the club to bring someone like him in.
Yeah, I got to really know him in the last, sort of 5 or 6 games, but I can tell from the players, and certainly say from Craig, how much they really get on with Mino, and and respect him and enjoy his sessions, really. So
yeah, he's brilliant. Our typical week I'll probably watch 2 or 3 games or highlights, whatever footage I can of the opponents, and then decide sort of what way we go about it. And then I'll sort of say to Brownie and Mino, this is what I want to do. And I will deliver a session on a Thursday related to that. And it's been like all them 9-game winning streaks and that it's all because of that work. I feel, we've had, if you watch some of our training games on a Thursday, we have harder training games than we do on a match day on a Saturday. And sometimes I'll just step back from it and watch it at the training ground, and it's great to watch. It's proper. Yeah. There's a bit of competitiveness there, and I just think once again with successful teams, that's what you're always experiencing with training sessions.
Yeah.
What mindset are you at the minute? Are you still sort of just taking each game as it comes, or have you sort of now thinking about next season, like any sort of like 1 or 2 players that you might have in mind, or you just?
I think a little bit about legacy, to be honest with you. So I really do want to break the points record. I think this Hastings team, this Hastings era, deserves to break that points record. I really do want to keep the best defensive record, and I still want us to score the most goals. So there's still a bit of motivation in there where business ain't quite fulfilled for me just yet this season. So we got the lads back in on Thursday. We'll be talking again about how we go about the games over the weekend, and probably utilising the squad as well, which we're going to have to with a quick succession of games. So I'm very 50-50 with one eye definitely getting business done this year, but also I'd be stupid not to have a slight eye on next season as well, and recruitment, pre-season, booking everything in. And to be honest with you, I've even got to get my personal position sorted out as well with the club, which, there's going to be no questions there. I want to stay, and I will stay. I think the club want me to stay, hopefully, and I would like to get that sorted out as well, because then it gives me direction of how I want to go about it. There's things I want to tweak in the background. So it's a bit of 50-50 at the moment. I want to get, as I say, get business done, but also there's definitely things I need to get the ball rolling now with next season as well.
Gary, on Saturday there's going to be a massive gate again, as you know. And I think after the last big gate, there was quite a few people a bit disappointed. Ones that don't normally come, they're there for middle hunters, if you like. Just make sure they really do it. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I know you will,
totally
but there's so many people that are sort of a little bit. They're not usually there, and they feel, well, why do we bother? I just want you to prove it to them. That's why.
Yeah, that's my message to the lads. I was actually going to say, like, treat it like a training session, in regards as in training, you can see at times they let the shackles off. They're more relaxed, free flowing football. And I did feel that there were certain players that did succumb to their nerves slightly.
Understandable, yeah.
Especially the younger lads. And once again, when I look back on that game, they will come on so much just from that one game where. Yeah. I think next time when I'm in a dressing room like that, I've got to do this, or I've got to, relax. And TC, for instance, he weren't quite at it. He wasn't making his natural sort of decisions, and he was thinking about things too much rather than just playing what was in front of him. And that's really what I want to see Saturday.
Yeah, it's all a learning curve, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Go out there as champions, let the shackles off, and let's get a few people off their seats clapping. And I'm really hopeful that we can deliver.
Just want to hear 3,000 people when the goal goes in. It didn't happen.
Yeah. When that raw, no, exactly.
Rather than claim for a penalty.
What, even in the main stand? Even in the main stand, yeah.
You're sweet.
Right. No, we don't do that in the main stand.
No, none of that.
Absolutely, loads of people falling all over the place. Beer everywhere.
What sandwiches everywhere.
Flat white coffee everywhere.
What I feel
Absolute
is very
animals.
reassuring. What's very reassuring, thinking of going up a level and a bit of an unknown quantity, but is and I think Matt would back me up here. The great Arsenal sides always had this spine going through them. So you've got, when you think of the determination, the example, the aggression, of starting from Finn and Stoney and then Jack Dixon in the middle and then Popey up front. There's that example to everyone, isn't there, of the fight, the determination, and
He's too old now, John.
You don't want an Arsenal spine, mate. They're fucking miles off the pace, Wills. What are you doing?
Hang on.
Did anyone get a good view of Dicko's tackle?
There you go. Sorry, that was John.
Oh, you had to bring that into it, didn't you?
Back Dicko again.
Brian, Tony's too old. He's got to get another partner for Finney now.
He's got 7 more years, I think, Mel.
It's a fantastic partnership, but it's just when the graft's got to be done. You know. Oh, that's my pump. Sorry. I just wanted to say that it's kind of
999.
Is that his emergency cord? The nurse will be in a minute.
It is my insulin pump, actually. You know, I wouldn't take the mickey out of the disabled. You know, I have enough of that with my hand.
What's wrong with
you? I do plenty of that off camera, mate. Don't worry.
Nurse.
Chris, you're lucky you ain't got a Will Smith slap there, mate. I'm telling you.
Gina will be there in a minute.
He's thought about Arsenal and his blood sugars.
Gina, could you sort out this pump, please?
Don't die live on air, please.
Oh, I can't.
Honestly, don't. He probably needs to just change.
You
the
think about it, if
Gary.
he does die, your ratings will go. They'll rocket.
Think of the podcast ratings.
Tens of
viral, don't you?
A live death on air.
You know, I love you, John, but you do this podcast wonders.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Good night, John.
Yeah.
Going back to what he was saying a minute ago, do you think that with the pressure off of having gotten over the line now, that the boys will be just a bit more expressive on the pitch? That sort of caginess will be out the equation now.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be honest with you. It was just that one game. You know, you look at the games before that. Some of the attacking, like the goals we scored at East Grinstead. If you want to sort of look at what we try to achieve on the training ground and how we want our attacking play to look, that was our copybook for it. That was our playbook, if you like. And you just think like that was just that 1 week earlier when, you know, we were still within that journey. And that's what I say to lads, actually. You know, sometimes I think in sport the journey's better than the destination. You know, I look back with great fondness at Ashford away and Cray away. You know, they're real big moments of a season which you need to get over these little hurdles to win leagues. And I really know.
Away.
Yeah,
No.
No, I was going to say, yeah, no, that'll be on video bloopers, that one. But it's been. I just hope they have that feeling at East Grinstead away, where they have that fire in their belly, and this go and put the cherry on top now. And I think they will. You know, knowing the dressing room that I know it as, and as you say, that spine, that bulldog spirit, which is always related to Hastings ever since I've been here, is I think that's one thing we need to hang on to. I think it's very special and very unique. I mean, that's the difference. I hope that we really let the shackles off and it can be party time Saturday.
Hi, Gary. I think that's an interesting. You should say that, because one thing I felt after the game I felt that sense of relief on Saturday. Yeah. It was a bizarre thing because the second half was so gritty. And
it wasn't football. It was almost rugby, wasn't it? At times,
I said that it was possibly the worst possible game for the best possible outcome that I've ever seen in football.
Yeah,
and but what it did make us think after the game, that sort of strange feeling of having a game like that where you win it. What we were talking about afterwards, but it reminded us of just the sheer pleasure we've had out of watching this team. Obviously, since you've taken over, but also maybe the past couple of years, despite the pandemic pains and that. And we go watch the under-23s a couple of times. We went over to Lancing to watch them in their cup final and that. And watching them and watching the first team, the winning is fantastic. But one thing I would say is we've had an unbelievable amount of pleasure watching how good this team is, and the winning is a nice outcome of that. But believe you me, just going to games every week and watching those players and identifying with those players and you and the team, the pleasure has been just as much in watching them and enjoying them playing as it has watching them win the league as an outcome of that. It's been a week-to-week thing. It's been fantastic, that, you know. And the outcome is brilliant, but the week-to-week joy of doing it has just been brilliant.
Yeah, so, no, I think you really have to enjoy the journey. You know, I watch a lot of sport documentaries, or anything I can feed off for motivation and things. Is, you know, but I remember, I think it was like Johnny Wilkinson saying when England won the Rugby World Cup, you know, all of a sudden you get to the destination and you're like, oh, you know, it's happened. And I'll be honest with you, I had that sense of that. I did. It was more relief. The weight just felt lifted, but the great thing about it is we're only at the bottom of the pyramid. And, you know, if I want to go on and achieve the things that I want to do as a manager, and hopefully some of them young players in the Hastings dressing room believe that, then what I do recognise is that the club is in such a good place off the pitch, where when I got promoted with Worthing, we wasn't ready as a club off the pitch. What I can say is Hastings is definitely ready off the pitch. And we're 2 years or 3 years more advanced than when Worthing went up. And John Meany will tell you that some of the things we had to sort out was comedy gold. It really was, and it makes you laugh, but it makes who you are, you know, and you've been there, done it, and hopefully them things will come up trumps, you know, for us this season. But you've definitely got to, you know, really enjoy the journey, and that started from Chris Agata. As I say, he laid some incredible. He laid the bricks down. The fundamentals were laid down by him. He made some young players come in the dressing room, always humble, always had a broom in their hand, sweeping the dressing rooms afterwards. And he brought me to the club. And as I say, I'll always be forever thankful for that to happen, because Hastings, you know, I go down that Elphinstone road, and I've said it, that's my home. I know I'm coming down to where I truly love. He brought me here, and I'll always have a lot to thank him for. One of the best non-league coaches I've ever worked under. So I just wanted to make sure that gets announced, because, you know, I've been there. I've probably started the Worthing bubble, if you like, and then I come away, and then probably some people overlook what I done at Worthing. But please always realise what he done for the club as well. So, you know, I know he left under a slight cloud, but that's how I truly feel.
No, but you've taken. Sorry, I was going to say you've just given that extra 5 or 10% that's turned them into winners. That's the thing, and that's the. You go to games now, and we've been to games, and you think they're going to win this, and you know that's that little difference.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was always like that in the dressing room with Ags. Anyway, I was almost like a manager on the pitch for Ags. I used to listen to him, and I think one of my strengths is I do feel the mood of the dressing room, and I am calm when I need to be calm. Like Ashford away at half time, you know, Stoney and other players will tell you this. Yeah, I look back on that. That was the best team talk I gave this year, because I remained calm and I knew what the game plan was. And maybe in the past when I was playing player manager, got too emotional and things like that. But that's hopefully where I've improved as a human being and as a football person. So, you know, hopefully that little 10 or 15% maybe I have added, but I just
feels like
things. Yeah, it's just a whole journey, and there's a lot of people to thank on the way, and I just never want Aggie to be overlooked for how important he was to this club.
No, I think what it does for me is I loved Aggie, great, like you said, the foundation that he built there, but it's all the more credit to you. I think if you're stepping in the shoes of someone where the team's spiraled downhill, you know that's a different situation to what you came into. And to earn the respect of the players so quickly and the fans and everything, I think I'd like to say thank you to you. You know, and you just taken things on and on. You built on any foundation that was laid, and you got us into this position now. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, well said, John.
Yeah, no, much, it's much appreciated. It is, it is, and I'll always deflect it back onto the group as well because, as I say, it's just honestly, it's the greatest dressing room I've ever been involved with. We're friends off the pitch, and everyone's got each other's back, and I maybe I'm just the glue that's held it together, and the players will talk more, about what's good and bad, and I'll let them do that. But I've just been happy that I have been the glue that's kept everyone together, because I didn't, when I first took over, I was really scared of it fizzling out. The group didn't deserve what was happening to them, and with regards, Aggie, one of their best managers, leaving, and I just wanted to protect what Aggie had done, and that's what I would say. Probably the best thing I've done is that I've just been the glue that's kept this special group of players together.
And maybe it shouldn't be a concern as such, but with success breeds, and I can't think. I've been trying to think of the word I'm looking for, but when the big boys come hunting, if you see what I mean. And like when you've got the likes of TC and Kane Penn, Leg, Jack Bates, you've got them coming through, and you say about keeping these group of players together. Obviously, people are going to come, the big boys, if you like, but and sometimes it's a little bit. They see it as the way forward, and rightly so. They're young boys and think, well, I'm going up 2 leagues and that sort of thing. And we've seen a couple go to Sutton and, then gone out on loan to Tunbridge Angels and so forth.
I remember, we talked about that. It's, the grass isn't always greener.
That's right. How are we going to keep this fine squad of group of lads together?
One thing, again, that I definitely had this experience at Worthing, where the club quite ran at that time correctly. A lot of these players wasn't under certain contracts. They left for very cheap money, and we had to get like a lot of a turnover of player through the door because of how it was just too risky. The club wasn't safe enough off the pitch. It's different with Hastings. So straight away, I've come in, and I know, I look at contracts and things like that. Straight away, the club has protected themselves, which is incredible. So people like TC, and they've all got like an option for another year. So all you have to do is send a letter off to engage them within another year. So straight away, I take my hats off to the club because they've done it professionally. The other thing I would say as well, which is not always easy, Malk, but someone like TC, he needs a year in this league to prove himself. The athleticism goes up. He will need a sharper footballing brain again. He will know he won't have to do them big wandering runs that is great to his game. He will have to chop and change his game up. That run won't always be on. So what I would advise to these guys is let's calm down. Let's make sure we're grounded. We have a good season next year. If then they leave after a year doing well in it, then I can take my hats off to them, and they deserve that move. But one thing as well is I've got to be right on my toes as well to say, hang on a minute, I've got this one in the book, that one in the book that I've identified as good players. I've got to have people watching games, and I've got to be right on my toes, ready to replace players at certain times. So the turnaround of players ain't going to be as hefty as what I had at Worthing. I think 7 players left because, we were so successful. But then Worthing didn't give me the money to go again, where with Hastings, once again, it is such a well-run club in the background that, first of all, I think the support is there. And second of all, they've done their business correctly in doing the deals they've done. So once again, hats off to the club.
Yeah. I was going to say that I know Pat the other week was saying that they have kind of put this blueprint of a model in, which is kind of quite similar to what Sutton had done. And the recruitment that they need to do to sort of see that through has got to be sort of spot on. And as you say, like having the crowds there is a big way of funding it, because no one else in this league or even the next league other than Worthing get figures like Hastings do they? Which is incredible.
No. It's you're absolutely spot on. And also, and I've got to stress this, you have got to get the right character in the building. That you cannot, they have got this dressing room will find you out in a heartbeat. If you're above your station, if you're not putting it in, even in training, that's what I love about this group of men. There's characters in there. They're self-policed. you get found out, and that's why some players go by the wayside. That's why some elevate into players that they are now. So once again, it's been work in progress. It's been a journey, and it's up to me, myself, and the staff now to do it again. But everything's there to facilitate that.